Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back to Woke Culture Daily. It's your friend Princess India here, and these are my bum fingers. Don't you dare talk about them, because if you do, I might cry. You know, I might use these tear ducts and cry. I burned my fingers. I've had so many things that have happened since last week. I missed you guys on Thursday of last week, but the weekend reading is still up on the membership platforms. And I burned myself this weekend, so, oh God. This, y'all, if you've ever burned your fingers, or anything for that matter, you understand what I'm going through. I was in so much pain, but I'm feeling a little bit better on today, so I wanted to go ahead and jump in and get you guys Tuesday reading out because my YouTube people have not seen me for some time. So we're gonna go with our usual format. We're going to start with my air sign people, go into our water signs. Okay. You know, shuffling is not the easiest thing in America right now. Then we're gonna go into our water, then fire, and lastly, our earth signs. So we're gonna ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for Tuesday, July 28th. Anything that all 12 signs need to know, anything of utmost importance, I ask that come to the forefront in this here reading. Spirit, and as always, I thank you in advance because I know you're good fortune. I'm shaking. Even though you ain't tell you girl I was about to burn my fingers, you just, you know, I'm not even gonna have this conversation in front of my friends like that. You know, I'm saying, you know, just, I'll leave that right there. So anywho, we have Gemini, we have Libra, we have Aquarius, we have Cancer, we have Pisces, we have Scorpio. Push these up a little bit. Then we have Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. God, my fingers just look disgusting. I'm not gonna talk about that. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. That's interesting. For some reason, I feel like usually I give my little spiel about the underlying energy for the day, but something in me says that shouldn't go too much into that right now. So I'm just gonna follow my first mind of what Spirit is saying, but you didn't say when I burn my fingers. But anyway, moving right along, Gemini. For today, Gemini has the, God, it looks really bad. I'm gonna use his hand. Gotta hide his hand. We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse for Gemini. So Gemini, I feel today for you guys, I want to tell you to be a little bit careful because I feel like you guys' energy today could be a tad bit irrational, meaning that, well, I kind of want to say depending on the twin, you know what I'm saying? The thought is more or less that before you act on something or say something, you're usually going to think it through. So this may very well be in a professional sense, but it feels more or less to me that, and I'd have to say this may be like a transit type of thing, because the way that I'm seeing it, it's not internalized. So it's not necessarily something that you're not, like something that you're actually going through, if you will. So it kind of just feels like an energy that's looming around you. And I feel that there's more or less a forewarning here for something you would more or less take your time to do to make sure that, you know, this is the right choice. I mean, this could literally be something as simple as an impulse buy, you know what I mean? Something where you would usually do your research and kind of compare and contrast. You may just kind of jump the gun, but I feel that would happen because it's like an external energetic influence. So it's not necessarily your mindset or your own emotions. It's just kind of like stuff will come together and you can potentially get caught up in the whirlwind and kind of just do something that you might regret. But I mean, I don't feel it as like a an epic regret type of thing, like something that's life altering. It feels to me more or less like an impulse buy, like I was saying. It's just, or, you know, getting overcome with emotion, because glancing at the Six of Pentacles in the reverse here, it's kind of getting overcome with emotion and overcompensating in some way. So, you know, middle of the night, you see an SPCA commercial and you're like, all of these animals have no homes, and you go to the SPCA, you know, and adopt all the animals. You know what I'm saying? I feel something like that. So be careful for that. Just make sure that any big decisions, minor decisions you guys make today, if you can, especially if it has something to do with purchasing something that may cost a lot, just kind of take your time to think about it. Like, give yourself the whole 24-hour rule, where, you know, you come back and revisit it 24 hours from now. If you still want it as bad, then get it. But just try not to be too impulsive today. Now, for my Libra people, we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse. It is so hard doing stuff with my left hand, y'all. We have the 9 of Wands in reverse for my Libra people. So Libra, here's the deal. I don't know if, and I want to quote one of my Libra friends here, I don't know if this is like an extended potato day for you all, but I kind of get the sense of, and I'm gonna get straight to the point, Libra, y'all might really be mad at me with this, but it's kind of giving up too soon, if you will. I feel there's this whole insidious thing that's going on. This has to be like a transit or something. It's kind of this insidious little energy where it's something or someone, it's an element of taking something for granted. And if it's something that's more internal, like personalized, it's like a false assessment you would make of yourself today. So it's kind of like a challenge comes up today, and when you size yourself up on how it is that you're going to deal with this, it's like you kind of quit before you really try. But I feel that the purpose of this challenge is more or less for you to rise to it and then overcome it. You know what I mean? But it's kind of giving up too soon. So I feel like the most important takeaway for my Libra people on today would more or less be you guys pulling from weeks prior, where a lot of you guys' messages have been about being present in the moment, being mindful about, you know, feelings, your emotions, recognizing when you're projecting in so many words, and not just kind of jumping to that first reaction of, I can't do that, or, you know, stuff like this never works out. It's more or less challenge yourself to meet this particular challenge that's presented to you guys on today. Now, for my Aquarius people, you guys have the 9 of Swords in the reverse. And I feel for you all, it's slightly different, Aquarius. I get the vibe of, this 9 of Swords is in reverse. I don't necessarily feel that any anxiety or worrywart syndrome, that's really not a syndrome, that kind of pops up on today. I feel the difference that you guys will take, or those of you who you know, are hearing this before this happens, the difference that would behoove you to take on today is to bring someone else in. I get the sense with this where, kind of like what I said with Libra, with them measuring themselves up as less than, in this particular situation, as opposed to allowing anxiety to overcome you, it's coming to a realization in a positive sense, like, this is bigger than me, or I really don't have the skill set or the ability to deal with this particular problem. Something that comes to mind is like, I don't know, if your car were to break down or something like that, as opposed to beating yourself up like, my car broke down and I can't fix it. You know what I mean? It's like, how crazy am I that I can't fix the car and you're not a mechanic? You know what I mean? It's reaching out to someone that you know, because whatever the problem you guys come into today, it would behoove you, or some of you are already going to come to this awareness, but it would behoove you to know that this is like above your pay grade, I like to say. Like, this is just something that you're not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like me with astrology. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody came to me and was like, hey, princess, can you interpret my birth chart? And me being like, oh God, like what kind of human am I at the fact that I'm just a therapist and a tarot reader and I can't interpret this birth chart? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna call my astrology guy and let him do it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that with my Aquarius people, it's half and half. It's some of you who already know, like straight up, like, okay, this is not my realm and I need to reach out to someone. And for others of you who are hearing this kind of before that happens, if something happens and it provokes anxiety and you know you don't have the skill, wherewithal, whatever to deal with it, it's reaching out to someone who does. Now, for my Cancer people, we have the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know how my fingers being jacked up is making me not be able to read. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel for my Cancer people on today, you guys are very, very focused. I feel like this may be a day of isolation, not like, you know, moody, emotional isolation. I just feel like you guys kind of have an end goal in mind. You know what it is that you're trying to do or what you're heading towards. So I feel today for you guys is really just going to be a day of staying focused and a lot of methodology, if you will. It's kind of like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 for me on today for you guys. But I do want to say not to overwork yourself. Like, you guys do have an end goal in mind. You do have something that you're trying to accomplish, but I do feel that there's an element here of you guys doing too much. And even specifically, those of you, my people out there like me who are in a helping profession, it's kind of overdoing it. It's like it's wanting to be of help. It's wanting to help someone get to a particular end goal or what have you. But I feel that today for you guys, just because this energy is kind of weird for me, it's almost like you wouldn't usually overcompensate in this area, but just because it's one of those days, it's almost like you'd enable someone, you know what I mean? And it's like you don't really have you have enough energy today for yourself. So it's like that thing I always say about only give to people from your runneth over as opposed to your literal cup. Like, don't give to people from your reserves, give to people from your excess. And I feel you guys, all you have for today is your reserves to get done whatever you guys are trying to get done. And if you open yourself up to give from that, what it is that you set out to do on today, you won't have the energy to do that. So just kind of guard against that, my Cancerian peoples, you know what I'm saying? And for my Pisces people, we have the Justice card. So this is interesting. Pisces, I feel on today, for you guys, which is the polar contrast to Cancer, I feel for some of you, you guys may fall into that realm of overcompensating today or even doing too much today, whether that's too much fun or too much work. However, I feel you guys would fall into that category of having your reserves as well as your access. So the extra stuff that you do, you kind of have the energy, the resources, what have you for that on today. And I feel that by the end of the day, you guys are going to feel like it was well worth it. You know what I'm saying? So Pisces, I don't know what kind of stuff you're getting into. It's a Tuesday. You know, I would like to know. Let me know in the comments. All my Pisces friends out there, mom, holler at your girl, because I'm nosy. Just saying, moving right along. But I feel like at the end of the day, you guys are going to feel like it's worth it. So if you're a Cancer person that, you know, you're still here listening to Pisces or something like that, I would say this would be a good thing for you guys to learn from. It's just Pisces kind of has that energy on today, or those resources or whatever the case may be, to where they're giving more than they're receiving, but it's not a loss for them. it's a benefit for them. But with you guys, you really want to make yourself a priority on today, Cancer. Now, from a Scorpio people, we have the King of Chalices in the reverse. So Scorpio, it's two ways I kind of want to say this for you guys. Very similar to Cancer and to Pisces, but I do feel like you guys on today are going to overgive, and I feel like it may be a little much. Now, for some of you, I feel a tad bit of an ulterior motive here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there. It's more or less giving to get, right? So you, and I'm not saying that for all Scorpios, it's just one facet of people that I'm seeing. It's more or less overcompensating on today or doing the most on today, but there's a method to the madness. You know what I mean? Because it's almost as if Scorpio. Cancer needs to guard against giving too much and focus on themselves. Pisces is not gonna focus on themselves, but they're getting something out of focusing on other people. Like they're gonna feel like you're like, yeah, that was worth it right there. But with Scorpio, it's kind of teeter-tottering because for some of y'all, I do feel a little bit of an ulterior motive here with what it is that you're trying to give, or with seeming as if you're lacking in something. So the vibe I kind of get with this for this other group of Scorpios that's a little smaller than the other group is more or less like minor manipulation, I'll say it. So it's not like manipulation with malicious intent. It's just that you're trying to get a need met on today and not feeling that confidence to really ask for it, if you will. So it could be that, I mean, you guys wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you're kind of feeling in a funk today. And again, I don't say this for everyone. And it's kind of presenting yourself to the people that you encounter on today. This really might be a message for people who cross-watching for a Scorpio. I'm just saying. Because the way it's coming out of my mouth, like this doesn't even sound like I'm speaking to the person that would be listening, but it's more or less, it's a desire for something or needing something, but not feeling confident enough to ask for it. So it's more or less kind of being a tad dramatic, you know what I mean? Or making something seem a lot worse than it really is because it's trying to get some sort of attention or, you know, validation or whatever. So if you're like kind of cross-watching a Scorpio person, just be aware of that. Like they're just, you know, doing their Scorpio thing. I don't want to be like, you know, I need you, you know, type of deal. But on the other side of that, for the rest of my Scorpio people, I feel for some of you guys, it's more or less like, it feels like a shutting down. It feels like a whole emotional thing that's going on here, but it's shutting yourself down from other people. And I feel that there's a mindset attached to that. Don't want to get too deep into that there, but it's kind of like there's more or less a mindset attached to that. And the last third message, because this is getting really, really long, but there's a mindset that's attached to that, and it's something with like abstaining from things, like you feel some type of way about yourself, and it's like, I don't deserve things, I don't deserve help type of mindset. And then for others of you, this is literally just like kind of paying on that first Scorpio message. This could literally be a Scorpio person. This could be a friend, sibling, family member, boss that literally is just, they have a means to an end. Like it's something they're trying to get, and they're being kind of emotionally manipulative to get you to do what it is that they want you to do without being direct with you. So just watch out for that and, you know, pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, on to my Leo people. You guys have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. And the first thing I heard is not giving. So I'm just gonna be real, Leo. Y'all might be crying broke on today. I don't really so much feel that y'all like broke in real life, but I mean, for some of you, it could really be this energy coming from the weekend where you may have overspent a little bit, so you're kind of tightening the purse strings. But I really feel for you guys on today, it may behoove you to cry broke, because it may be going with this whole vein of this little insidious energy. It's just like needing to tell somebody that you don't have it. And whether that's in energetic currency or literal currency, like if somebody's coming to borrow money on today, or if your boss is asking you to work overtime or something of the sort, I feel for you all, similar to, like I said, with my Cancer people, that there's a need for my Leo people to kind of hold back on today, because you don't have it, whatever it is, whether it's money, time, whatever, you guys just don't have it. So I feel for you guys on today, it's gonna behoove you to just, I ain't got it, or I already had something planned, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop type of deal, right? Now, for my Aries people, you guys have the Empress card. So Aries, on today for you guys, I feel that there's more or less two sides to this. I feel for those of you who find yourself in a situation, circumstance, kind of similar to what I was saying for Libra and Aquarius, where you're not really equipped to handle it. I feel that there's a need for you guys to reach out to someone who is. And then for others of you, I feel like you guys are going to be taking on this role. Now, for my Scorpio people who are taking on this role, you guys may have Libra people or Aquarius people in your life. And the most important thing for you guys on today is to kind of hold space for them, if you will, because I feel whatever it is that like they're going through, or anyone in your life is going through, the thing that's being asked of you today is more or less, and I feel like, okay, if I kind of ping back real quick to what we talked about last week, with my Aries people, of like this lack of confidence or questioning yourself, I really feel like this is a divine intervention thing of why this would happen, because I feel that Spirit's ulterior motive in this would more or less be showing you, Aries, how equipped you are. So it's a particular thing or something people always come to you and ask you about. And if you're trying to figure out what direction you should be pursuing something in, it's in this thing that's going to happen today that someone's going to come to you and ask you for your help with, your insight on, your advice on, or what have you. And I think it's important for you guys to take note of that. The other group of you, and this is so cute, especially if y'all got, I hope y'all don't have a Leo mama, but especially for those of you, even if you're an adult, because I mean, I don't necessarily feel as a kid, but I feel some of you Aries, it really may behoove you to, if you find yourself either in like a financial bind, to not let your pride get in the situation. And I mean, for some of you, that may even mean asking your parents, like if you're in a situation to where you could seriously lose something, like your car's up for repossession on some stuff, I think it would be imperative for you guys to kind of put your pride on the side, and you may have to literally ask your mother or parents for some funds. Just throwing that out there. Now, from a Sagittarius people, you guys have the Devil in the reverse. That's awesome. Sagittarius on today. So here's the thing, but then there's still two things with this. There's two sides of the coin. So some of you Sagittarius people, I feel like somebody's gonna try to test your gangster on today, Sagittarius, but you've been doing your little meditation, you've been getting your little life together, you've been staying chill, you've been staying mindful, you know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna let it get to you, The devil is a lie, you know what I'm saying? So I feel for some of you guys on today, it's more or less someone is going to, I just gotta say test your gangster, I don't know how else to say that, but somebody gonna test your gangster, right? But I feel you guys are gonna nip it in the bud. And I feel this is more or less something that you guys have struggled with for some time, like kind of like a weak point for you, or it may be a particular person, a Capricorn person maybe, that's a weak point for you, where 1,000 people could ask you to help me move, and you'll be like, no, I got stuff to do. but it's just this one particular person. And for some of you guys, it is a parent, just throwing that out there. But with this one particular person, it's like you just completely, throw everything that's important to you out the window to stop everything to show up for this person. You know what I mean? So I feel on today, the thing that's going to be a little easier for you guys than it has been in the past is not overcompensating in that way. It's you kind of realizing like, okay, I do usually do this, and you guys being able to say no. For others of you, it's more or less a little bit of overindulgence here, and I don't feel that in a very serious sense, like going on some binge or something like that. It just feels to me like cheating on a diet, to be quite honest. But the advice that I can give you in reference to that, if you guys do end up having like a cheat day, it's just kind of match what you've done. So it's like if you go, I don't know, to McDonald's or something like that for lunch when you've been on this thing of eating healthy, it's like, just maybe run 30 minutes extra than you usually do. You know what I'm saying? Now, for my Capricorn people, we have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. And for my Capricorn people on today, it's interesting. I feel there's a level of short-sightedness with you guys on today. It feels more or less just like a mental block type of deal. And it's evaluating and weighing your experience on today from the wrong perspective, Capricorn. So I feel there's a need to be mindful of that, because energetically speaking, I'm not really seeing so much in the arena of this really being a problem per se. But whenever I see it like this energetically, that's saying to me that it's a perceptive kind of thing. So it's more or less you guys are gonna get a lot done today. You guys are gonna get a lot done today. I do feel for some of you this has something to do with something y'all been working on for some time. But and then there's a specific scenario I'm seeing. It's kind of like, and not saying this is literally happening, but just if you guys could pull the vibration from this, it's kind of like, on like Instagram or Pinterest, they have like those little money saving techniques where it's like, each week you save like $5, then $10, then $20, and the next week it's like $50. And if you do this for like 7 weeks, then at the end of the 7 weeks, you're gonna have $15,000 somehow, you know what I mean? I feel it's something like that, like you guys having done that, but it's like turning a blind eye to it. So it's like you're working on something, or even if like, you're working out really hard and you haven't been looking at the scale, it's like there's some element of that to me. And it's having this picture in your mind that you're a lot farther along than you thought. And it's like checking your bank account today or getting on the scale today and it not being where you thought it was going to be. And it's like kind of feeling, disappointed, or, that you didn't do a good enough job at this. But the whole key is it's kind of like a disaster thinking type of thing. So guard against that on today, Capricorn, because you may not be at the level, like at the weight, hypothetically speaking, or at that certain amount that you thought you were going to be, but it's the fact that it's more than you lost or gained since you started. And I feel that's what the big takeaway is for today, if that's making sense for you guys. So it's not beating yourself up or feeling some type of way because you're not where you thought you would be. It's just the fact of realizing or needing to realize, because I feel like this is kind of something you guys realize to carry forward, that you're a lot farther than you were when you started, if that's making sense. Now, for my Taurus people, we have the Judgment in the reverse. So for my Taurus people, there may be getting out of alignment with your ground on today. And to say that in more of a realistic kind of way, is more or less you guys have gotten off balance, if you will. So it's kind of being off kilter and doing too much of one thing. So if I went back to what I was saying with my water signs and stuff like that, like how I said with Cancer, that it's, you just have enough energy to do this and you focus on that, because if you do something else, it's going to take away from your reserves. I feel for my Taurus people, it's more or less a big lesson you guys are going to learn today, like Princess learned over the weekend, of doing too much, right? So the most important thing here on today, Taurus, is not, and I feel this is something like I'm saying it after it has happened. So I don't know what has transpired since Monday for you all, because I feel like I'm kind of coming into something that's happened already. You know what I mean? But the whole point of this is knowing that, like I've said many times the weeks prior, of like the whole concept of doing nothing and accomplishing everything, right? In order to do that, you have to be working from your inner space, right? Like you have to be rooted and grounded and connected with spirit in order to do that. But it's more or less having gotten a little off kilter. You know what I mean? So the path gets unclear, or there's a level of like blurriness or short-sightedness, because the whole problem isn't really the situation or the people or you even. It's just the fact that you've gotten off base. And I feel that this has happened because it's a level of overcompensating in some way. So it's more or less on today, Taurus, even it's like if you hear this and you kind of stop and like, what the F is she talking about? It's like, I would say just look at the last couple of days, because you guys' readings all last week in the dailies were really, really good. And when you started feeling kind of off kilter, I would look at like watching your behavior, like what changed? Like, are you spending too much time on Instagram? Are you spending too much time on work and you've kind of neglected your workout? Like, what is it? Because I feel that there's not really anything wrong per se. It's just a feeling of like a lack of clarity today, or feeling stuck and not really knowing how to navigate today. But the issue isn't really the situation, circumstance, or people around you. It's the fact that you've gotten off base from your inner self. And that's the whole reason why the confusion exists in the first place, if that's making sense. And lastly, my Virgo people, we have the Knight of Wands. So for my Virgo people on today, I feel like today for you guys is gonna be a pretty energetic, inspirational day, if you will. The only thing I would say for my Virgo people is to kind of proceed with caution, because I feel the energy you guys feel on today, you don't want to necessarily get sucked in by it, because I feel like there's a level of potential for you guys to be extra on today, like kind of going hard in the paint towards something. So it's like getting inspired to, I don't know, organize your closet, right? Which is totally cool for the energy that you guys are inspired to do. But an example of extra would be deciding to not just organize your closet, but to organize all of the closets in your house on just today, this Tuesday, and then do your garage and everything else, right? Because I feel like you kind of tucker yourself out. So it's more or less channeling your energy, if you will, and focusing it on what's of utmost importance. I also feel for you guys as well, there's a need of balance with this, of if you've been feeling kind of draggy and on today you're motivated to do something, to not allow yourself to misdirect this energy to someone else. I mean, unless it's like, you know, a crisis or something, somebody really needs you. But I mean, this could be something as simple and insidious as you getting up super early with the energy to organize your closet, and a friend calls with some tea, and then you spend hours like getting all the, you know, good old tea, and then you look and several hours have passed, you've never started on your closet, and now you're super duper tired, and now it's like another, you know, day or week or month before you get to it. So the important thing for my Virgo people on today is you have a certain level of energy to get something done, stick to it and get that particular thing done, and to not get sidetracked. So, you guys, that has been your daily. I've missed your faces. I hope that this helps. Most definitely let me know what you think in the comments, my friends, and I will see you guys again on tomorrow. Don't you laugh at my fingers. Tear. Later.